Hello and welcome to another quick look. This time I'm taking a look at the Valkyria Chronicles by Sega, published and developed. And it originally came out on PS3 2008, 2008, and finally came to PC in 2014. So it's a bit older game that finally is in a PC as well. Well, 2 years already almost on a PC. And it was kind of remastered with HD graphics and improved. But it still very much shows the PS3 origins, as it's a very controller oriented control scheme, but it works just fine on PC. It probably works better on PC, the combat portion. So what is this game? It's basically kind of anime style tactical turn-based strategy game with a very heavy story focus, and it's actually a really good strategy game. I was kind of worried about playing it myself. I was like, it's some anime game, and it's like, I don't know. But don't let that really get in the way. If you like strategy games, pick up this game and try it out. It's really damn awesome. And the anime part is really not that capitalized on as usually they are in that kind of games. It actually is very mild and just kind of how the characters look, and the kind of pencil drawn graphic style of the game is actually really damn awesome as you play through the game. The game is basically played through this book here, which is your where you have different chapters. These are a bit spoilery, so don't read too much on them. And then there's different tabs you can select on the book, and it's basically like a war memorial written by this one lady who is part of the storyline as well, and it's kind of like her recollection. She's a journalist, and she kind of writes the story about these guys, and you play through different chapters like these. There's lots of cutscenes. It's very cutscene heavy and very story heavy, and it's actually a pretty decent story as well. And every now and then you do these operations in there as well. And you also have, in addition to just the story here, you also have in the tab selection here, you have skirmishes, which allow you to play certain missions in a different way. As you play through the game, you unlock new skirmishes, and there's all kinds of fun ones. We'll do this first skirmish because I don't want to spoil any story for you guys, because you want to enjoy the story yourself. So we'll start out and show this skirmish one to you guys when we jump into the combat. And as an strategy game and kind of RPG as well, you have the headquarters here. Let's jump into there, which is where you can upgrade your troops and do all kinds of things. So here's your squad barracks, where you can view all your characters in the game. There's my list here, and all of these characters have personalities, voice acted, and they're all just awesome people. There are some really strange guys in the group, and you can see some unit details here. There are guns and everything here, and let's go out of there. They also have these traits for every one of them. Actually, we should look at those. Let me see, how do we do that? So see Alicia. Actually, look at Ted here. Can I see the unit details somehow? There. Drop there. So for example, this guy has these potentials. So he has metal allergy, so if he goes near tanks, he starts losing slowly HP. Fancies men, he gets better when he's around men. He also fancies women, so he gets better around women as well. He show off. You can probably actually check these. Being sighted by multiple enemies makes them want to show off, upping their defense. Untouchable shot, nocturnal, that mine, all kinds of abilities. And there's a lot of these, and every character has their own potentials. You start out with only a couple of them, and they slowly unlock for you as you do things. There's several special characters in the game, like the main character you saw there, and Alicia is another one. And as you do progress the campaign, you unlock their abilities, and there's also a special chapter or a report for each of those special characters, which unlocks their potential as well. So you get some background information about those guys as well. So in command room you can choose who you want into the team, and you start out with this small bunch of people.
Hello.
That's Captain Varret there. And you start with a small bunch of these people, and you can change them around as you wish. Death is actually permanent in this game, except for the special characters or the main characters of the story. If they die, you usually just lose the combat directly and have to do it again. But for these guys, they actually can die permanently. So if you fail badly in the combat, they're gone for good, and you have to get some replacement for them. In the combat, when they get downed, there is a 3-turn limit. You need to go and get a medic for them, or they will be gone for good. So it's not instant death, but you have to be careful to quickly grab them back. Then there's a training field, which allows you to level up different units. And here's the leveling up. So you gain experience by doing missions. You can also grind experience by doing the skirmishes over and over and again. So if you want to level up your units that way, you can do it. And you just spend experience here for this. So for example, this would give the engineers here that experience I just threw in there. And as they level up, they unlock new potentials as well. When they hit level 10, they become from normal units to elites, which gives them different new things. And it's very advisable to level up some classes quickly. Also, as you level up classes, you gain orders. Orders are these special abilities you can use in combat from the main character, which help out tremendously in some situations. There's, for example, a sniper support, which snipes out one enemy. There's this is it devastation or what it is called, that maybe demolish, that increases your damage on tanks, and it's really helpful throughout the campaign. But anyways, that's one of the ways to gain them. Then there's the war cemetery. There's an old man there who sells orders as well, so another way to get them. Then you have RD facility here with the bro, and you can develop weapons here. So you have, for example, rifles here, and you can upgrade your rifles, and they have different branching paths as well here. So there's different versions, firepower, accuracy, and added effect. And that's pretty much for all of the guns, for all the classes here. This save file I'm showing you here is pretty much at the very end of the game. So I have pretty much everything unlocked here. So there's all kinds of fun stuff you can upgrade. Armors, weapons, grenades, and all that. And then you have your tanks, like our Edelweiss here, which is main tank of your army, which you gain very early in the game. And you can upgrade different parts of that, develop additional pieces for the tank. And then you can actually do this tank Tetris, where you outfit the tanks here. And you get this these parts, you can see what kind of size they are, and you can fit them into that Edelweiss 2 slot there, so you can mix and match what kind of upgrades you have on for your tank. And it's actually quite fun upgrade system.
Come back.
I'll come back. Then you have the Castlefront Street, which is the journalist I was telling you about, and she tells you all this information about the current events, and also you can unlock the reports for different characters for their special part of the story. Then there's Audience Hall, where you meet Cordelia, who is the ruler of this land, and then she gives you medals for doing basically achievements in the game, and also some other stuff for you. Let's go back to the book mode, and I'll get us into a combat. So we'll jump into the tab here, select a skirmish. There's also lots of information for personal weaponry and closer if you want to dive into the lore of the game. There's a really good way to do it through here. There's a really detailed information about each character and all the weapons and places and everything in there. Let's go to skirmish here, and we'll select the first skirmish on an easy difficulty because I'm a boss. Yeah, let's fight in a skirmish battle. And as you jump into these, you always get this briefing at the start here, what you need to do. So we're fighting in Brule here, unknown enemies or anything really on the map. Usually you have like information on the map here, what you need to do, and buildings and all kinds of stuff. And you get this information on the bottom here. There, our starting position. We need to sweep quickly and drive their force back through this area and occupy their base camp. Okay. And then they give this more solid information. So enemy base camp is captured, is a victory. Velkin dies, who is the main character of the game, and we need to not let them occupy our camp. And we also need to not die, and that's 20 turn limit. So here you get to choose and position your squad members. On this map there is only one spot where to position your units. The base camp we have there, where we can place 10 units. Usually there's at least, well, there's always the one, but there's usually 2 or more. I've seen, I think, 3 or 4 is the max. And you sometimes have to split your units in different places on the map. And you can choose whatever you want to deploy on these maps. Usually there's a couple you have to have, like we have the 2 tanks here, Valkyria and Saga. And then you can just choose and throw in there what you want. So we'll throw Alicia, Ted, who are scout units. So there's different classes in the game. Scouts, shock troopers, the lancers, engineers and snipers. So 5 classes in total, if you don't include the tanks. And all of them have different abilities. The scouts are really quick, have a rifle for a fairly long range shooting, and they're generally one of the best classes. Well, they're best class for doing a lot of things. And Alicia and Ted are like the prime candidates for those. Then you have the shock troopers, and here's Rosie, who is one of the special characters. You always want to deploy your special characters because they give you command points, which I explain in a moment. So we'll take Rosie in there. Largo is another one of those guys, and he's a lancer, so he's an anti-tank guy. They carry a lancer or a lance, which is basically a rocket launcher for destroying tanks. The shock troopers, I didn't explain. They have basically a machine gun for a short range. They're like anti-infantry units, and they also have some armor, so they don't care about shooting that much. So you can just run into enemy units and kill them with the shock troopers. Then you have engineers, which are very, very important here. So we'll take let's take Dallas. And engineers can repair your tanks, which is very, very important. They can also disable anti-tank mines, which is quite important as well. And they can refill ammunition for your lancers and snipers and stuff like that, which do run out of ammo really quickly. They only have 3 to start with. Some of them have ability that allows them to gain free ammo as they shoot, so basically a free shot. And they also recover 1 ammo per turn. But sometimes you want to use that single unit maybe 6 times in a turn and shoot 6 rockets if you want to take out some really nasty tank or something. So that's where engineers come in to refill your guys. So we'll throw 1 in there. Then we throw Marina, which is sniper. Well, sniper is a sniper. Long range kills. So you go in there. Actually positioned them totally wrong. We're going down, so I put the 4 guys in the back. Anyways, it's fine. Let's throw Wavy and Monthly in there as well. Doesn't really matter. So we have 10 out of 10 now. You don't have to actually deploy all 10. And sometimes in some of the chapters or some of the operations, it's actually advisable not to deploy everyone, because you can deploy during the mission as well from your camps. So in some missions it's good to have like a small strike team that quickly goes in, captures a camp deeper into the mission or the battlefield, and then you spawn units from that camp instead of having them run through the map as well. Saves you command points, and also some units like the sniper and the lancer are pretty slow units, so you don't want to have them travel through the map because it takes forever to do it. Then you can check your objectives here, which is the same we saw earlier, and then we just deploy and start the mission.
Now, let's begin the operation. I'm confident victory is within reach.
By the way, I disabled the music for this video due to YouTube reasons, but the music is really damn good in this game. It brings a lot to the game, and it's a shame I cannot really play it for you guys while we do this here. But definitely liked
Let's
it a lot.
drive these Imperials back out of Gallia! Squad 7, move out!
That's Welkin, our tank commander and the main character of the game. And there's Edelweiss, our tank. So, Flare phase 1. I really like how the map looks as well, it's really cool and very well done. So up here we have the CP, turn 1, and that's the command points. So each time you use a unit, you expend 1 command point, and when you're out of command points, the turn changes to enemy turn. So, and tanks use 2 command points to use, because, well, tanks are tanks, and they're a bit more powerful. And you can choose to use this however you want. So if you want to use this, say monthly, 9 times within a turn, you can do it. Problem is that each time you use the unit, he loses AP, which is the movement points basically. And after you have used them about 3 times, they have like basically no movement left at all. You can barely move an inch. But sometimes you just want to use someone about 1 billion times to kill, say, a tank, or use a sniper, or just to run someone to capture a spot very far away. And we can also see what the enemies have deployed here. So they have a scout here. You can see that this is an elite, well, not an elite, one of the officers, I guess, because he has that star next to the picture there, the same as our command points. So when you kill this guy, they lose command point permanently, as this guy gives. It was the same thing that our special characters give, like here the Edelweiss or Welkin gives 1, Alicia and Largo and Rosie also have this. So if you lose these guys during the battle, you also don't get the CP, and you're using less CP every turn. And you can also end your phase, so I could just end my turn here if I wanted to, and the CP would carry over to the next turn. So sometimes it's advisable to save your CP for next turns. Like if you know that in a mission something will pop up, say next turn when you activate a part of the mission, you might want to save like, say, 5 points or something to just quickly deal with the threat that comes in the next turn. So it's part of the strategy to use that. Also in the menu here you have the orders. So issue an order Welkin has learned, and there's a bunch of different orders here that really do help a lot. Like this demolition boost is the one I was talking, that increases the allies anti-tank attack power by a lot. This basically allows even the scouts to destroy tanks with their rifles, and it's really powerful in some missions. And they cost different amount of CP to use. You can use them once per turn, but you can use them again next turn if you have CP to use. And you can use multiple orders. Sometimes it's very good to use multiple orders as well, because for example extra attack power or something for someone, and then just put some defense on him and just go around shooting everyone in the map. But anyways, let's actually do something, so we'll get out of that. So we'll start out by killing a couple of these enemies. So we had a couple scouts, a lancer, some shock troopers, and a scout. So let's start out with Alicia.
Moving out.
Alicia is really powerful, and this is how you control the unit. So you can use your mouse or a controller to zoom around. I really like the graphical effect.
Don't allow them time to think.
In this one, so you can see all your guys here, my tanks in there. You can see that there's like this fuzzy kind of cartoony effect on the edges of the screen. It's really cool. So in this mode you can
Keep your eyes peeled out there.
you hear this radio chatter all the time for the combat. It's quite nice.
Stop the enemy from breaking through.
Shut up. So in the top corner you see what I'm looking at, so we can see all our people here. We can look at the enemies, and you
Are
can
there any weak spots in their defenses?
also see their HP and all of
Please
that.
act
And on the
expeditiously.
shut up. On the right corner you can see the wavy antenna. So if I shot this guy now, there's this
The front lines made enemy contact. Support them.
shut up. So there's this effect that they will help me to shoot that guy. You can crouch
Do your nation proud, soldiers.
next to these sandbags here, which allows you to get cover. So there is headshots in this game, and they are like criticals, and
If you
it
see
will
an
kill
opening,
you.
strike.
I'm gonna keep this so she doesn't talk over me. So there's headshots in the game, and they do a lot of damage. So you want to stand behind sandbags in a cover as much as possible, or you lose HP really quickly and lose your characters. On the bottom right you see the Alicia's information, the weapon she's using, the HP, and everything else. You can tab between weapons. She has grenade launchers, grenade, medkits, and stuff like that. The bottom bar is the movements we can do, and you can see a minimap on the side as well. So you can freely move your unit, but you lose the bar on the bottom. And you want to position these guys in a nice spot. If you go too close to enemies, they will shoot you, but it doesn't matter that much often. And there's no flanking in this game, so you need to kind of destroy the covers for the enemies. So in this situation, we would probably just run this guy in front, so the enemies are shooting me now. There. So I'll activate my shooting here. So you can tap through here. So Ragnade is the medkit on the bottom right. You have this rifle here, and you can see where you shoot. You can aim this freely. So for example, to kill this guy, it's 4 shots. We're doing 5 shots. It's good against personnel and has no damage on armors or has no area effect. If we tap through these, this is the grenade launcher we have. So it's 1 shot, really good against people. Does a bit of damage on tanks and also area damage. And this is a really good way to get rid of sandbags. And you can freely aim this, and it actually goes where you aim. Well, most of the time. Sometimes it gets stuck in terrain. Also, you can really easily see that it's white now, and if I get it directly on him, it changes color, so you can really know that this is where you want to shoot it. We also can use Q and E to automatically target different enemies. Don't know the button on controller, but there is a button for that. This is the normal grenade, so you start out with this. The grenade launcher is an upgrade, and you can throw this the same way, but not far enough in this situation. So in this situation we could shoot him in the head. He's actually not behind the cover, so we're gonna probably take out him. And we'll just aim at the head. So if you look at the to kill amount there, this is the body shots. Much higher chance of hit, of course. But it requires 5 shots, and the headshots is 2 shots. Also the shots will hit always within the ring, the orange ring in the middle. So Alicia has really good accuracy on her rifle because it's very upgraded for accuracy. So basically, if I put it on the head here, it will extremely likely hit every shot in the head of this guy. So we'll just do that. And he's dead.
Man down, everybody be
I can still move after the shooting, so you can pop in, shoot someone, pop out back to the cover or behind the building or whatever you want to do. Or just run wherever you need to.
Come in.
But we'll just leave Alicia here and spend another command point. Let's show you the tank as well, because tanks are super fun. So
Entering combat.
here's Edelweiss. One of the biggest complaints about the game I have, it's not a big complaint though, is that the
Now's your chance.
tank controls are not the best. On keyboard and mouse at least. And you have to kind of use them carefully. So tank is a bit different beast. It has a cannon,
Wait a bit longer.
mortar,
While they move.
machine gun, and smoke. And smoke is really powerful,
Ready yourself
as if
for
you
the
play the
next
game yourself
attack.
you will find out very quickly in the campaign. Same movement thing, and then we can just have mortar enemies if we want to. Tanks are armored and they have a lot of HP, so these guys shooting me though does absolutely nothing.
I don't like their attitude.
On the bottom you can barely see, next to the movement bar, you can see the behind of the tank with the blue glowing engine block, and that is the weak point for every tank. So that's where you want to shoot with your guys, because it destroys tanks really quickly. It's like the headshots, but for tanks. So we'll just roll in.
Units, check your current position.
Roll in with my tank here. You cannot drive over people, but you can destroy sandbags, which will destroy their cover. There. We'll park the tank here, and I'm gonna take out this guy in the corner here with my mortar.
Now.
And he's dead. And since he was an officer, now they lost the command point,
Target.
so they'll have less command points for every turn. And that's the tank. Let's see. I might want to use the sniper next. Let's see, where's Marina?
The hunt begins.
Here's Marina. And we'll move Marina here with Alicia. And you can zoom in and zoom out with these snipers. She has pretty good snipe. So it's headshots galore with these guys.
Good night.
He's dead.
Sweet dreams.
And we'll end the turn. I'm gonna use Marina again. And I'm gonna headshot that Lancer we see there. So that's an enemy Lancer. They kind of look like these knights with the lances, but it's a rocket launcher really. And since our tank is next to that, we don't want to deal with the tank, so or deal with him destroying our tank. It does require a few shots for them to kill the tank, but we don't want that to happen. So he's dead. Let's see, what do we have? Scouts. Let's use Rosie here. Rosie is the shock trooper class.
Isara, this number's for you.
And there's one of her potentials kicking in. Not sure what the song does, but they are beneficial always. So the potentials, some are working all the time, and some are triggered by conditions like having enough enemies inside or something like that, or the allergies. So we'll just run you here. Guess we do a grenade. They also have flamethrowers, these shock troopers, which I didn't use too much myself, but some people say it's actually quite powerful. So we'll just grenade this guy as well out of the cover. Probably kills the guy because it's just a scout.
I'm impressed, but not surprised.
Let's leave you there. That next guy doesn't seem to be in a cover, so we'll just run in with Rosie. It's actually a shock trooper, but it doesn't matter. Rosie can take the hit. You can also kind of dodge bullets as you go and unleash hell.
Mwah.
Enemy unit neutral.
And put her there. Let's see, what do we have? I haven't shown you the engineer.
Right
So
away.
look at the engineers as well. Dallas here is our engineer. They have the same rifle as the scouts. They have grenades. The medkit, everyone has the medkit. They have engineer tools. These are used to repair the tank. And we can just run in here. And she gave ammo for both of them.
Head toward the objective.
And then we can just run behind the tank. Usually I keep these guys very close to the tank. Usually behind here or somewhere. Just keep the tank repaired and refill the mortar ammo as well. Just repair the Elvas. It took a very tiny bit of damage, but there we go. It's now repaired. These guys can also repair sandbags, so if I want to, I can run over here next to sandbag, and there's a repair option here. If I can actually get close enough, but not on it.
Put yourself in the enemy's blind spot.
Come on, Dallas. There we go.
Keep casualties down.
And there we repaired the sandbags, and we can hide behind that. Same way with spacebar, you run just at the anti-tank mines and destroy them. And here's Largo, who is one of the Lancers and one of the main characters in the story. He has this lance, which is a rocket launcher, medkits, and that's it. These are fairly slow, but they're really tough. They don't care about the explosions in any way, really. So if you throw a grenade or a rocket, or even shoot with tank, these guys just laugh at you. But they do take bullets to the face, which is not nice. And these are your main way to deal with tanks. You usually want to use these guys instead of like a tank against the tank, because these guys can shoot faster and more damage, because they can get into better positions like behind the tank to shoot it more easier than our tank can get there. Also, this guy only uses 1 command point per shot, and the tank uses 2 per shots, so that's why you do want to use that. Sometimes I use these guys to destroy covers as well, if they're in a good spot, or anti-tank guns or something like that. So they're quite versatile if you just get them in a good spot. We'll just shoot there. Not very good at long ranges, so you want to get close range. And I miss. Good job, Larko. Let's end that phase. And I think that's our end of our turn here. If I really wanted to, I could have murdered all the enemies really easily, but I wanted to give them a chance as well to act. So they have 4 command points, and they did nothing. The enemy sometimes doesn't really use their command points. This is the easy first skirmish as well, so it's quite understandable. You can also see that this guy is crouching, so we need to destroy his cover, and this guy is not in a crouch. So we'll take let's take Ted. Where's Ted?
I'll knock him dead.
Ted is
I
quite
can
fun.
see your punch line from a mile away.
Quite fun character.
Focus on making smart choices, soldiers.
So Largo barely got from there to here with his time units or movement points. Ted spent like third of his time units
Stay
or
strong.
AP to get here. So scouts are super mobile, as you can see. Hello.
Concentrate.
And you get grenade to the face.
Hi, I'm Ted.
And this is the reason why scouts are really powerful, because you can really run them across the map really quickly to capture points and
Thank
kill
you,
enemies and
thank you.
flank snipers
You're doing well.
and
Just
whatever you need to destroy. And with the demolish order, you also get behind the tanks and you can just shoot them with your rifle.
I'm on it.
Works really well with the shock troopers as well, but they are definitely much slower than
Do your nation proud, soldiers.
the other guys. So we'll just
Ain't no stopping me.
run in there. And as you can see,
Speed is the key.
this guy barely does any damage on Rosie. 1 damage per shot. Although he's just a scout, not an elite scout or anything.
For now.
And Rosie is very high leveled and geared at this point. But shock troopers don't really care about shots in any way. Especially if you give them the defense order. They just laugh at the enemy and just run at them and do this.
Go down. Mwah.
And he's dead. So that's all the enemies down, and we just need to capture the flag.
I'm on it.
Capturing these flags is also that there's an area around the flag that you can use to occupy. If there's an enemy within that area, you cannot occupy it. So you need to clear out the enemies. But in many missions, there's usually like 1 or 2 guys on the flag and more people around it. So you can just run your scouts in, quickly take out the guys on the map, on the flag, and then just win the mission that way. So you don't need to kill everyone. And there is a ranking on missions. Wonder if you see it on this as well. Which depends on how many turns you do.
Operation complete. We took their base.
Yay! Yes, so this is the combat report, and there's the base result, which is the base amount you get always, and then there's the clear bonus, which is the how fast you do the mission. So it only gave me rank B for 2 turns, so you can do this mission in 1 turn. And lots of the missions are very low turn limit for A ranking. Like even in a bigger maps, it's usually like 3 turns, and there are some really bullshit ways to do some of the missions really quickly. And you don't need to kill everyone. You just complete the objective and it's done. And I definitely enjoyed much more on some missions. Not rushing the mission, but doing it slowly and killing everything. And you gain experience and the monies from these, and you can spend them to upgrade your units always. So it kinda is advisable and good for you to do them fast, to get a lot of upgrades quickly. But even when I didn't do them really quickly, I never really had issue with money or experience to level up my units throughout the campaign, so it wasn't too required. Let's see, was there anything else? I think that's pretty much it about Valkyria Chronicles. It's an amazing strategy game. Don't let the kind of anime style confuse you if you don't like that. If you like that, then definitely let it confuse you. But just look through that and see the really amazing strategy game underneath. and on just a I highly recommend giving it a try. It was a really big surprise to me how good the game was. I heard a lot of recommendations from everyone, like, you need to play this game, it's amazing. I was like, I don't know, it's just some PS3 anime strategy game, meh. And I was like, I don't know. And I let it sit in my Steam library for over a year, I think almost 2 years. And then I was okay, I need to play this because you guys are bothering me too much. And surprise, surprise, it was maybe the favorite game I played in 2015, at least on the strategy game front. It was damn that good. And I played a lot of strategy last year. But anyways, that's my recommendation on the game. I highly recommend checking it out. It's very cheap during sales, so that's a good point when to get it if you're a bit on the edge, if you want to try it out or not. Definitely wait for a sale or something like that if you want to get it for a bit cheaper. But I highly do recommend checking it out. Cannot recommend it enough. But anyways, thanks for watching this quick look. And check out the other quick looks on my channel as well, on YouTube and on the Steam Curator groups. And check out my live stream on twitch.tv/Planar, where I do live streams of games like this and many other builder manager strategy games, and some RPGs and a couple other games thrown in there as well. But anyways, thanks again, and I'll see you guys next time.